it is time for News Extra on a Monday morning, and Kevin Mooney with our program. Kev.
All right, Steve, thank you, and good morning. Roger Christensen is here, and we're going to talk about the Hunters Helping the Hungry program. And this is something that has been going on now for several years, and with the help of Roger and a local church and a Bayard processor. And it really works well as far as helping get ground venison over to some of the food pantries. So, how you doing, partner?
I'm fine, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right, so explain how this works.
In 2012, the program started where the state legislature allocated some money, and they will pay a processor, I think it's around $60 a deer, to process a deer. The hunters bring their tagged deer in. If they don't want to keep it, they will then donate it to the program. Dennis's people will cut up and grind the meat, pack and then repackage it into 1 pound packages. Bayard Processing does all the processing that way, and then the nonprofit entity is St. John's Lutheran Church, and we then distribute the food to 4 local organizations primarily.
Yep, Our Lady of Guadalupe Church, Jeremiah House, Potter's Wheel, and the First Baptist Church, and so it works out great. Now, you guys, there's how many locations around the state? There's like 20?
They're down to 20 locations. Some locations decided to opt out of the program and not be involved anymore.
Yeah, there were 23, but as far as the Panhandle is concerned, really, Bayard Processing is the biggest participant, am I right?
That's correct. There's only 2 out in our Panhandle. The rest of them you have to go down along I-80, south central Nebraska, and southeast Nebraska, and then a few up in northeast Nebraska.
Works good. You had 42 deer you processed last year. You're hoping to process 55 this year.
Yeah, the state allocated 42 last year, and that was about 2,900 pounds. And this year our allocation went up to 55 deer. If we get more demand, we can always go back and beg the state to allocate some more tags to us and increase the donated venison out here.
And we're the second largest processor out here
in the entire state. Last year we processed approximately 17% of the total meat that was donated across the state. The largest is North Platte. They serve 10 or 11 counties, and it's run through I believe they're United Way down there. The Food Bank of Nebraska does serve across the state, not out here, and they're number 3 for total volume.
All right. We'll tell you if you're out there in a hunter and you're going, well, this sounds like a good program, how you can get involved, and it's very, very simple, not hard at all. We'll do that right after this break.
It's happening again. Ladies and gents, it's time again for the Saber Rack at Bacharach's. KNEB is once again partnering with Bacharach's and Regional West to raise money for the Festival of Hope and breast cancer awareness. Join in for the fun and support the live auction at Bacharach's on Wednesday, October 28th. Donate your decorated bra and register to win a weekend trip to Deadwood. It's the event of the year. Saber Rack at Bacharach's. Bra auction Wednesday, October 28th. Join in on the fun and help us raise big bucks.
Back on News Extra, talking to Roger Christensen today about the Hunters Helping Hungry program. This started in 2012. A lot of the hunters are very familiar with this, but if you're not familiar with how you do it, how do they participate if they've got some deer meat that they can't use and they want to donate to this program?
Well, they'll tag their deer, checking it into a licensed station, and then they just have to bring it down to Bayard Processing. They'll provide their permit, and they'll sign over the deer to the Hunters Helping the Hungry program, and we'll give them the paperwork to sign. We take the deer, and then they're free to go, and we start processing.
All right, fantastic. And there's a lot of out-of-state hunters that are involved in this as well, right?
Yes, there is. We've had some out-of-state hunters that come up to hunt with family or friends, and they just don't want to haul it back or don't want to come back when it's processed. So we've had some number of out-of-state hunters donate deer to us, and we're very welcome for that. Thankful.
Yeah. And obviously you can't do this without Dennis and without your own local church. St. John's Lutheran Church has really stepped up on this program, right?
Yeah, Dennis has really stepped up. There's been some processors drop out of the program. One of the quotes was that, quote, they can't make any money. Well, Dennis has said it's his Christian duty, to help. Doesn't want to see meat go to waste, so he steps up and donates his time and his people to get this all done.
And St. John's Lutheran Church kind of had to have a nonprofit organization move the meat through the channels, right?
Yeah, as the entity of distributing it and watching where it goes. And I do that. Fortunately, all of our recipients now have freezers, so I can load up the meat. Dennis freezes it down to 0, and then once a month I'll deliver meat to the 4 entities, and it helps because they can throw it in their freezers and distribute it. I mean, Father Sorensen,
right,
like from Guadalupe, Our Lady of Guadalupe, has said, they could take donations every week because there's that much of a demand. Unfortunately, we run out of deer meat by usually February.
Yeah. So it's a pretty amazing program. If you want to get involved in it, like I said, very easy. As Roger said, just make sure you take it over to Bayard Processing, and he'll do all the rest. So good program, and they hope to do about 55 deer this year. Well, thanks much, Raj, for coming in.
Thanks, Kevin.
You bet.